So suppose we just take, now these are three, okay, this one is a virginal CD, right? I'm going to deflower it. And now, many people even qualified people, do applied kinesiology testing, as does he. But what I have done is to modify the testing by making it much lighter than it's usually done. So I am a member of Applied Kinesiology at the International College. I give talks there virtually every year. But it doesn't mean if you are qualified in Applied Kinesiology that you're still going to do it exactly right for this. Right? But those who have and who do it my way say, yes, we get the same results. But unfortunately, so far, we haven't found any instrumentation, I hope that Stanley's is, any instrumentation which is as subtle in terms of this problem as testing a muscle response. Now, one word about how the testing works. It's not a question of power or force or anything like that. You are testing the acupuncture energy flowing into the muscle that we are dealing with, which in this case I used a part of the deltoid muscle, which relates to the lung meridian. So it's really saying if we use up some of the chi, some of the energy in the muscle by the process of pushing and the patient's response, is there enough flowing in to replenish what's being used or not? So normally there is enough energy being replenished. If you are stressed, for example, by the digital, then it won't be. And specifically this relates to lung 5. Now this is, everything I've said so far is my work. Now, so we take this and now one of the subtleties about all this is the testing for this has to be done relatively quickly. Because if you let the music play on for, depending on the individual, for say 15 seconds to a minute, you get such a negative response that other circuits start to click in which are more negative, but it seems as if the subject is testing strong, but it's a spurious testing. At that point, and this has been my sociological work since 1980, at that point the person will now believe that hate is good and love is bad, that health is bad, that sickness is good, which is what I've called reversal for many, many years. And whenever you see a patient, that's nearly always the stage they're at. So my concern, particularly with children, was that they only have to listen for a short time and this inner, what we call this inner morality is reversed. So we're only going to test you now for about 15 seconds. And I'm only going to test with the headphones because I don't want you all to be affected. Do you understand? So, and we switch off after 15 seconds, otherwise you can stay negative for the few hours. And then another variable which is very important is that the headphones and the player must be in phase with each other, because if they're out of phase we have an immediate problem. So anyone validating this work has to make sure that they're using the same polarity or same phase all the way through. Sony in the industry is the only one that has kept the same phase. So any piece of Sony equipment you put together will always be in phase. Just as an aside, Apple iPod has reversed polarity. Polarity is when you are 180 degrees out of phase, reverse polarity. Apple, as far as I can understand, use the same headphones that Sony use, except they're coloured white, but they look to me the same. But the polarity is reversed. So when we are playing an iPod, the first thing we have to do is to put in another piece of wire which reverses it around. So one of the first things is Apple has to be told this is stupid, that should be corrected. And that'll hurt people less. Now, so we set this up and then we have to show you some other variables. So who's going to be the subject? You want me to do one of them or one of you? Whoever you like.
Tam.
Sure.
Okay, so let me show you the first problem we have. So now just stand like this and twist as hard as you can. And keep it up hard as you can. No, don't twist your body.
Okay.
Just keep it up hard as you can. Now, the reason for that is you are wearing this watch. Can you take the watch off? Why that is because you've got a battery in there or something like that, which is sending a signal of about 50,000 cycles a second up 6 acupuncture meridians. Right?
Okay.
Let's test you again now, like that. All right? But watch this. Watch this. Stand here. Stand here. Okay? Stand here. Stand here. Why? This is controlling variables. Now, before you came, I tested the room. So many places, you have so many pollutants, fluorescent lights, all sorts of factors. So we've only found one position in this room in which we can test. All right? So we have to test in this position. Now, okay. So now we're ready to start. This is an untreated CD. Just as it comes out of the box as usual. So put these on. And we look at how to use this damn thing. So soon you should be hearing Bobby Darrow. This. I'll switch it off. Okay, keep it even.
Okay.
And I resist. And that's basically it. Alright? Okay. That's basically it. And if, yes, you can take, if we leave that on for more than 15 seconds to a minute, you be, as it were, reversed in terms of your healing energy, your life energy inside yourself. Right. Now, stay there, hang on.
Okay.
Stay, come on. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. Now this is, which I think is a correct name for it, diastrates. This was treated by one of my methods in Moscow about 8 weeks ago. February 23rd, right? It was treated for about a minute, and I haven't done anything with it since. I have no idea, any more than you, whether it's still going to be effective or not. But this was just as negative as that.
Does it have to do with a particular type of CD or just all,
no,
all digital?
All CDs.
And MP3s as well, since it's digital?
Yes. Okay. iPods, or everything.
Digital.
Oh, digital.
Digital, which is
so if I was
slices it. Okay. Digital slices the music into pieces.
And we're going to talk about digital imaging, it's another story. Basically the treatment is the same. Computers, the same. DVDs, the same. It can all be dealt with. So now, put this on. Just put this back on. This machine is not the best, but just portable. It doesn't matter. The sound quality is completely irrelevant. Yeah?
I don't hear anything.
How did you get? How did you? Yeah, okay. That's that's 8 weeks, whatever it is, after 1 minute of treatment.
The Ninth Symphony was written by Bach.
Yes, the Ninth Symphony was written by Bach.
That's all. Anybody else want to try? You don't believe it unless you feel it yourself. Okay? This is called kinesiology. You can look it up. Okay. This is not a fight. Okay. We're looking for that springy response, resist. Springy response, resist. What's your name?
Eduardo.
My name is Eduardo.
My name is Eduardo.
My name is Stanley.
My name is Stanley.
My name is Eduardo.
My name is Eduardo.
My name is Stanley.
My name is Stanley.
I'm a cat.
I'm a cat.
What's today?
15.
Today is the 15th.
Today is 15.
My name is Stanley.
My name is Stanley. Short-circuiting our logic there. A contradiction and an every.
You think you're so conscious? 95%. Look at Freud. 97. I don't care what the percentage is. It's for anybody else want to try? Yeah. Now we got some questions. We had nerve with this one. Yes. Come on. You can.
I just have a question. So in this video, he was making them listen to audio and then
Standard CD. Listen to the standard CD. You test weak. Okay, and you treat the CD using this mysterious method. You test strong.
but
Because she showed more resistance after she listened to it, right?
Yeah.
So, and he said he went to Moscow to get it treated?
They were just in Moscow and treated it. He goes, he can do the method. I can do the method.
What's the deal with the treated CD? Is it like what do they do to the CD?
I can't tell you. I will tell you that it has to do with crystals. Crystals. It has to do with crystals.
Crystals?
It has to do with crystals. We won't have time to get into it. I'm just going to pass this around with this. What's the other question?
I was wondering, like, is the audio, are you trying to find out what audio reacts to the body well? Or?
Yeah. What we're saying is that digital distortion creates a lot of fatigue, which is picked up by the unconscious. And if you're exposed to a lot, remember he said if we leave it on for more than a minute, you'll adapt to it and you'll test strong. And that's what happens, is that you reverse. So your body doesn't recognize the poison, in essence, or the weakness, or the untruth of what's going on. And so by listening to this stuff all the time, by listening to shredded music all the time, oh, this was it. Why do people, sorry, stay here. Why do people go back to vinyl? This is what vinyl. There's no shredding, it's all the smooth analog stuff. They don't know what, that's what they're appreciating. Actually, some of them do know it very, very well. Another question? Okay. Here, resist. Resist. My name? Resist corner. We need a true one here. Okay. What's your name? Sergio. We need to form this. Sergio? My name is Sergio. My name is Patrick.
So wait a minute.
Don't you think the effects are playing? if all this weird kind of, if you don't know what's going, if you don't know what's energy is going on, don't you think that comes out when you're playing? Question? Sir.
Yeah, I look at it because a lot of the students here are coming from, the sort of rave electronica side, and we talked about sort of the populace or public, people want to move, right? So they want to move in response to the music. So we're kind of looking at that as sort of a factor, like when you're creating it. But there's a couple things. So
I have an answer.
Okay,
that's the question, but I haven't answered. We were able to move and groove in the 70s, and we didn't have CDs. The music, there's a difference between the beat and the pulse. There's a difference between the statement and the breath. Breathe. No. Did you want to?
Oh, there was one other thing. So, but it's funny because what you showed us, Messiaen, Gershwin, Copeland, right? Piano music. And yet you're involved with electronic synthesis. So there's always been the knock on electronic music that it's lifeless. It doesn't have the same.
Mine doesn't.
So
skill-based. My first CD, nobody could tell it was. You can't tell that it's MIDI. Nobody can tell that it's MIDI. It's skill-based. And particularly with the tools you have today, there's no excuse. You could do anything. There's no excuse. That's the problem. The problem is that you can do anything. So within that, that's what I say. If you don't have a limit to thrust up against, it makes it really frustrating as an artist to find something that makes you annoyed to react to. And if it isn't this society in this current condition, then you're not an artist.
Well, the other question was, I was going to say, our students here are right on the cusp of that, like what you talked about in your book, the democratization of music and everything. And now people we're bringing in iPads, and there's all those applications now that people are writing and programming. And I'm imagining there's somebody in the school here who's going to write.
It's all good.
Programming, right?
I should.
You're saying that, but you are really telling people to be cautious.
It's not the technology.
About the patent process.
Oh, the patent process, absolutely be cautious. Talk to me. I'm Stanley at jungleib.com. Follow up if you have any questions. Patent process, absolutely. Be careful, keep your ideas to yourself, keep a notebook. And if you have any collaborators who helped on the idea, you define what they did so there are no arguments later on. You also do that when you start bands.
Business is business.
No handshake deals, because you'll end up slapping each other at the end.
Any other comments or questions?
You were saying earlier that by moving some on the program that you create music from that, from emotion.
Yes.
So do you think there could possibly be off people's tension or body heat music?
Sure, I can build you a sensor to do it right now. We didn't get to it, but one of the things I didn't get to spatial synthesis, but I build devices that can pick up your mood. I can pick up the mood of the room. I can quantify it. I can synthesize and use it as modulation source. It's patent pending right now.
So that's what I'm thinking. The future is people are going to be at raves, and the music is going to be reflective of the people's emotions. No, but think about it, right? A lot of people who go to raves, you guys all know that the DJ or the music assemblers are trying to look at what's happening and trying to focus it, right? And set the group just like a band feels the audience and plays off of it.
And now we're going to have spatial conditioning as a performance art. And you can be, as a synthesis, it's all waves. Which is why you're not going to get out of this without studying fast Fourier transforms. I'm sorry.
You hear that?
Do your best. Start now. It's a bitch. Try to learn FFTs, the ins and outs. Whatever you can learn about FFTs will facilitate your really grasping what's going on in the next generation of technology.
What artists do you follow today?
What artist?
Artists, musicians, producers you follow today?
No, my interests?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. What I do, you know, I have a weird listening habit. Has anybody heard of 10-Speed? Mystery Machine. They're a Canadian band. Please, hands. Okay, Mystery Machine, 10-Speed. I don't know why. I listen to that thing for 2 months continuously. I get on these kicks where I listen to REM's, the one with Wake Up Bomb on it. I listened to that album for the same thing 2 months. I thought no other music was necessary. I have weird listening habits, and so what I listen to doesn't matter.
Let's give him a hand.